Greetings, this is Introduction to Phonetics and Phonology. So, we'll begin by defining what phonology and phonetics, and then after that, we'll go straight to the areas of phonetics, and then we shall look at the articulators, and then we will finish by wrapping up that one. So, we start with phonology. So, it is the study of speech sounds of a particular language and how they systematically form one's utterances. So it is simply the study of speech sounds. So phonology is narrower than phonetics, which deals with all languages. So that is the brief definition of what phonology is. And then phonetics is the study of speech sounds utilized by all human languages. So it concerns itself with the way sounds are produced in the vocal tract, or rather articulated in the vocal tract, and the physical properties of the speech sounds wave generated by the vocal tract. So both phonetics and phonology deal with human speech sounds. So these sounds are analyzed and classified according to three basic parameters. So we will look at the first parameter is the airstream mechanism, the second one being the vocal tract, and the last one being the vocal organs. So the first one is the airstream mechanism. So the it is the basis of the sound heard by each human sounds. So there are three, which are the pulmonic mechanism, the glottalic mechanism, and the velaric mechanism. So those are under airstream mechanism. And number two, we have the vocal tract. So it is made up of the three cavities in which speech sounds are produced, which are oral. The oral is the mouth, the nasal, and the pharyngeal, laryngeal. So after that, we're going to look at the vocal organs. So these are either active or passive articulators used in production of human sounds. So the active and passive articulators, we will look at them after we deal with the areas of phonetics. So we have three areas of phonetics. The first one is the articulatory phonetics. So this one is the study of how speech sounds are produced. The second one being the auditory or perceptual phonetics. Now this one is deals with the perception via the ear of speech sounds. So the third one is acoustic phonetics. Is the study of physical properties of speech as sound waves in the air. This is the transmission of speech sounds in the air. So those are the three areas of phonetics: the articulatory, the auditory, and the acoustic phonetics. So we'll start with the articulatory phonetics. So here we look at the organs of speech. So the organs that produce speech sounds have primary functions like chewing, swallowing, and breathing. So speech production is a second function of these organs. So these organs have the first function. So the breathing, the chewing is the mouth, the teeth, and the breathing is the nose. The swallowing are the trach or the esophagus and something like that. And then we have the mouth, the tongue. Those are just the examples of these organs. So the first one, the vocal tract, they are more than half the human body from head to the abdomen. So we have the three systems are responsible and they work together. So the first system is the respiratory system. The respiratory system includes the lung and the muscles. After that, we have the phonatory system and the articulatory system. So the articulatory system, the three are the are part of, or they are the examples of the vocal tract: the respiratory system, the phonatory system, and the articulatory. So let us just look up brief something about the respiratory system. So these include the lungs and the muscles. So the primary function of this is breathing, thereby assuring enough supply of oxygen in the body for us to produce these sounds. The second one, we have the phonatory system. This includes the larynx, or rather we also call the voice box. So this acts as a valve that closes off the lungs partly. So for us to communicate, or for us to produce these sounds, they are supposed to be this voice box, so that or rather it helps in closing, or it helps in regulating the air that comes out of the lungs. Okay, so producing different types of sounds. And then the articulatory, we have the mouth, the nose, the tongue, and the teeth. So those are just the examples and the primary functions of each. And we have a last one, which, no, those are the three. So another one is we are going to look at the articulation. And so articulators, so the articulation is the action of producing the sounds, whereby or rather, yeah, this is the action of us producing sounds. That is what we call the articulation. And the articulators are the muscles that help us to produce these sounds, or the muscles that are used when producing these sounds. So the types of articulators we looked at, they are the lower, or rather the active, and the upper, or the passive articulators. So the lower articulators, these are the articulators that move when we produce these sounds. So we have an example like the lower lip, the front teeth, or rather the front teeth, and then the tongue, all the parts of the tongue, whether it's the apex tip, or the blade, whether it's the dorsum, the radix, or the root. So all those are the part of the tongue which are part of the lower or active articulators, because they move when we produce sounds. And then the upper articulators, or rather the passive, these are the articulators that remain stagnant when we pronounce words. For that, we have an example: the upper lip, the upper teeth. Okay, yeah, these are just the examples of these the passive, or rather the upper articulators. Yeah, so that will be the end of this presentation.